All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CMB checking in. And guys, I wasn't going to come on here today and make any content. This is kind of impromptu because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Twitter here, and I come across a tweet from His Excellency Turki Alalshikh, a diabolical tweet, by the way, pertaining to the upcoming pay-per-view on DAZN, the July 12th card where Edgar Berlanga will be headlining and Shakur Stevenson is the co-main event. Now, this tweet is pretty much about Shakur Stevenson and Hamza Shiraz. So let me read it to you guys and give you guys my take on what I think about, this tweet with Turki Alalshikh. So it says here, I will be very upset if Berlanga and Zepeda knock out Shiraz and Shakur. We have big plans for Shiraz and Shakur, and this will be a complete disaster. Wow. Like I said, diabolical, right? Now, people are taking this different ways here. Some people are taking this like Turki Alalshikh doesn't have any faith in these two guys winning a fight, winning the fight. In all honesty, I think this is kind of reverse psychology, in my opinion. It seems like Turki Alalshikh is trying to light a fire up under Shiraz and Shakur, in my opinion. And apparently, I think it's working with Shakur, because Shakur did respond. Shiraz never did respond. It says here, it can actually go the other way. Oscar can't fight for him, and even if he could, I will whoop them both in the same night. So, I think it's working with Shakur. I think it's lit a fire up under his behind here. Now, as far as that fight goes, in my opinion, Shakur and Zepeda, I see Shakur as the better fighter. He is the more skilled of the two, in my opinion. And I don't really agree with the narrative that Shakur is a runner. I don't really think that's Shakur's problem, because Shakur will fight you. I think Shakur's problem a lot of times is him not being able to close the show, and him being a little bit predictable, so predictable at times that it's boring, So I don't really think he's a runner, and I think, Zepeda, he's going to pressure Shakur, of course, but I think Shakur will get his hands raised in the fight. Now, I think he needs to make it spectacular. So a knockout, would be ideal for Shakur. That's what he needs to work on. He needs to work on, like I said, closing the show. I think he'll get the win, though. Now, like I said, Shiraz did not respond, but Edgar Berlanga responded to His Excellency. He says here, don't worry, you'll be upset. I'm going to mess up your day, July 12th. I'm going to destroy your boy. So, what do I think about this fight? Shiraz is undefeated. His last fight, I think, is with Carlos Adames, where it was ruled a draw. A lot of people thought he should have lost that fight. And he's moving up, of course, to 168 to fight Berlanga. Now, I would say that Shiraz is the better boxer, in my opinion. And typically, you guys know, I pick the guy with the biggest skill set. But there's always exceptions to the rule, and I think this is one of those times where it's an exception, in my opinion. I think Edgar Berlanga, he's getting better with his fundamentals. I still think Shiraz is better, but I think the momentum is with Berlanga. He's coming off of, the biggest fight in his career. He fought Canelo Alvarez. He's been in there with the best that there is at 168. And even though he lost every round, he still has that experience factor. He still has that momentum. I think he's going to do his best to stop Shiraz, and I think he will. And, I'm going against my rule. Like I said, there's always exceptions to the rule. So, in all honesty, I think this fight, that fight, he's going to ruin Turki Alalshikh's day come July 12th. So it's going to be, I think, Turki Alalshikh will get one thing he wants, but in that fight, he's not going to get what he wants in that fight. So, but we'll see. That's just my opinion on that. But my opinion is, I'll just reiterate it, is that Turki Alalshikh is trying to light a fire up under these fighters that he's rooting for, and I think that he's trying to get the fans also engaged by putting it out there on Twitter and get people excited about the card. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I wasn't going to make any content, so this is kind of impromptu. I'm just going off the top of my head here, guys. But you guys let me know what you think about the tweet. Who do you have in those two fights? You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.